Samoa, like other Pacific islands, is at the forefront of global climate change impacts, which in Samoa are expected to include a 2 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, bigger and more destructive cyclones, rising sea levels with increased coastal erosion, and more extreme weather events including flash floods and drought. However, people in Samoa are not sitting back and doing nothing about this increasing threat to Samoa's livelihoods, culture, and environment. The Samoan government is pushing hard for the country to convert to renewable energy before 2025, principally solar power, and there are numerous climate change adaptation projects in Samoa to prepare Samoa for climate change, including the installation of seawalls, river revetments, as well as moving critical infrastructure such as roads and public buildings away from the coast. Not all solutions to climate change need be infrastructure-based. In fact, some of the most cost-effective solutions to climate change are relatively simple and nature-based. Nature itself is the greatest buffer against climate change, but we need to help nature heal from the wounds we have inflicted on it. The Samoa Conservation Society and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, in partnership with village communities, are demonstrating that simple nature-based solutions to environmental threats such as climate change are effective and sustainable. Nature-based solutions, such as planting trees and establishing and managing forest and marine reserves, also empower people, particularly the youth, to conserve the environment. Youth are the future of Samoa and are the group that will be most impacted by our current and future behavior. They also tend to be more receptive to new ideas than older generations.
Mo matoi tono matu ainga matu atu fo itufa I tue o matu nuu ane ngata leo tu tonu au ta ainga ile ngata I fafaile linga o la au o le toi no le va matua o le feta o le tangi leo tangi o manu ia ile ngata lea o le susu ina le ile tau taimin nei
ia o le wala ko sirfia le ngaluenga le kau mafai inga ia sosoangi le kau suinga o le kau ongo le vela o le lama kulanga fapenga lunginga la ele se mele kikiro la ko sirfia le welo ma o fia foi la ko e sosoangi malosi e koko ia ele wala lao wala ingi la au.
Unfortunately, knowledge of Samoa's natural heritage and threats to it and what to do about these threats is not particularly high. In order to value nature and to manage the threats to it, people need to understand why our natural heritage is important and what practical actions we must take to save it. Thus, the Samoa Conservation Society and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, with a number of other partners, have started a project to raise environmental awareness of the youth in Samoa and empower them to take action to save the environment. And this is the site for the Samoa Climate Smart Rainforest Restoration Project, which is a partnership project between the Samoa Conservation Society, or Le Societe Fa'asao Samoa, and the Forestry Division of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. It is funded under the UNDP GEF Small Grants Program.
We supported through the Global Environment Facility and the Small Grants Program the initiative of the Samoan Conservation Society because of its innovative approach, because of its immediate, very simple application of our commitment to becoming neutral in terms of carbon footprint. By being able to offset the harm we do to the environment through our travels, through our habits, through planting trees, we actually honor an obligation that we all have as citizens of the planet. And the Small Grants Program will continue to support initiatives in Samoa and around the world that bring people closer to their own promises that they made to the planet, to their environment, to their communities, and to their families.
We currently employ 30 youth from the neighboring villages of Pautasi, Sa'ang and Salelua, and the main objectives for this project are carbon offsetting and also restoring the forest back to its natural state or back to a native forest. The Olepupu'e National Park was the first park established in the South Pacific and turned 40 years old in 2018. The park stretches 50 square kilometers from the highest mountain on Upolu, Mount Fito, down to the coast and captures a great swath of continuous rainforest, including all the main rainforest types in Samoa, as well as much of Samoa's native terrestrial biodiversity. Experience has shown that raising awareness is best achieved through action, as it is through action that people feel empowered to learn more and do more to protect the environment. In fact, it is through simple actions that everyone can take that the battle to reduce the impacts of climate change and manage other environmental threats can be won. One simple action is planting trees, as trees are 50% carbon and are one of nature's best carbon sinks. By absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, trees not only reduce one of the main greenhouse gases from the air, but also help bring back our native biodiversity such as birds, bats, reptiles, and butterflies, all of which evolved on islands covered in rainforest and need native plants for food and shelter. With year-round warmth and abundant rain, Samoa is blessed with a climate perfect for growing trees, and tree growth rates of more than 2 meters per year have been recorded. Given that the world loses 10 billion trees every year, each tree we plant is a small victory. Samoa has recognized the importance of trees and has a national target of planting 2 million trees by 2020 and is well on the way to achieving this target. An important part of the project is raising awareness of the impacts of everyone's behavior on the planet. In particular, how we use our fossil fuels is contributing to climate change. Every time we travel by car or plane, or even turn on the lights at home, we are contributing to the greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change. The main greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide emissions from planes are increasing fast and can be calculated relatively easily via an online carbon calculator. This graphic explains how our carbon offsets project works. A return flight from Samoa to New Zealand produces around 1,280 kilograms of carbon dioxide per passenger. If we wanted to compensate or offset this amount of carbon dioxide, we would need to plant around 6 trees, as 6 trees will absorb about that amount of carbon dioxide in their lifetime. Thus, passengers can either plant these trees or pay for someone else to plant these trees. This is called a carbon offset. For flights further afield, more trees would need to be planted to compensate for the carbon dioxide emissions. Thus, a return flight from Samoa to Australia would need around 8 trees, and to Europe around 55 trees. To put these figures in perspective, to offset an average car's emissions over a year, you would need to plant around 9 trees. So that return trip to Europe is equivalent to driving your car for over 6 years for every passenger making that trip.
O le polo keki la leua mako ngā lulu e ngei o le carbon offset. Ia kua ki le ale ka ua. Le loa po I leua la kele me ka ko vaalele. Langa lea mako ke ko onga le la au. Ngā ke miki ia le kasa. Po le kasa ka pongi lea. Ia e mafua mai vaalele. Ma meo ka vale. Ia a o ka ko ngu fo. Ia wa kele ainga su e aku la ngi sila. Su e aku au skadia. Ia o whema langa inga kangaka. O inga o lea ua a maka mea ai whale a ligi. Masi umu. Ile poro keke peonga iai.
The seasonal workers from the Falealili district have taken their greenhouse gas emissions very seriously and are now offsetting all their travels to New Zealand and Australia, where they work for up to 6 months a year. When they return to Samoa, they plant trees voluntarily at the Olepupu'e National Park to offset their emissions, and so far have planted 3,000 trees. During 2018, the 30 youth from Sa'anga, Salelua, and Potasi learned how to propagate and plant trees. By September 2018, the youth had planted more than 10,000 trees and restored almost 4 hectares of degraded rainforest. Once mature, these trees will absorb more than 2,300 tons of carbon dioxide, making a very significant contribution to Samoa's efforts to combat climate change and also helping to bring back the biodiversity of the Olepupu'e National Park. The youth also learned about Samoa's environment and the threats to it, from climate change, habitat destruction, waste and invasive species, and how to manage those threats. They learned about Samoa's geology and biodiversity, including plants and birds, and were made aware of the growing range of green livelihood options in Samoa, such as nature-based tourism, organic farming, and sustainable forestry and fisheries. The youth were particularly excited to hear about opportunities to be tour guides working for local hotels such as Sinalei Reef Resort. All the youth made a personal pledge to do something for the environment, such as not to burn waste, to cut down on the use of plastics, to set up or help manage a village fisheries reserve, to not shoot bats, or to plant more native trees. We consider these youth the real environmental champions, and the Samoa Conservation Society and Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment plan to continue their engagement with the 30 youth champions in 2019.
We will continue our partnership with you, and we look forward to future projects. We live here. This is our home in Samoa, and we love working with you, and we're going to continue working with you and this national park. But we also will be moving to other parts of Samoa next year to take this project that we've done with you guys. We want to take it to the rest of the Samoa next year.
We encourage everyone in Samoa to think about your environmental and carbon footprint and to play your role in reducing or offsetting your environmental footprint. Together, we can create a sustainable, clean, and green Samoa with a vibrant living culture and healthy people and environment.